If dragons were more than just a myth, and the fact that nearly every human culture has a story about them more than just a universally strange coincidence, then a scientific explanation for them would be possible. Scientists could discover how dragons were able to fly and breathe fire. But if dragons had been alive since the time of the dinosaurs, then how did they survive long enough to be remembered by humankind? 65 million years ago, a meteorite 6 miles wide laid waste to nearly all life on Earth. The cataclysm is known as the KT event. It unleashed one of the greatest mass extinctions in the history of our planet. The age of dinosaurs was brought to a crashing halt. How did dragons escape this doom? The only other large creatures to survive the KT event all have one thing in common. They were aquatic. Sharks, skates, rays, coelacanths, turtles, and crocodiles. The dragon body found in the ice cave already suggests a common ancestry with an aquatic animal. The false palate found at the back of the dragon's throat is morphologically similar to the false palate of crocodiles. But crocodilians aren't close relatives. They branched off long before the first true dragon had evolved. But neither is this mountain dragon a very close relative of the prehistoric dragon that did battle with T-Rex. That ancient species was completely wiped out by the KT meteorite. This dragon developed along a different branch of the family tree. The descendants of the first primitive dragon followed very different evolutionary paths. At the time of the KT catastrophe, the prehistoric dragon was not alone. It had a cousin, a marine dragon. Water provided dragons with an escape route from one of the deadliest episodes in the Earth's history. Like other large creatures that endured the KT event, dragons swam from extinction. Over time, flight bladders had become swim bladders. Reduced wings developed into fins, and the powerful tail became a rudder. Marine dragons thrived. Then, as global temperatures rose, some marine dragons returned to the coastal margins. Moving into estuaries and traveling up rivers, it wasn't long before they made their first tentative steps back on land. Many creatures alive today made similar transitions back and forth between land and sea. If the legends are accurate, then dragons too would have re-emerged on land millions of years after the KT event. But what of their marine predecessors? How long did that line last? The sea serpent. Were these mythical creatures real too? Are sea monster legends actually accounts of marine dragons? And what of the dragons that returned to the land? Where would they have first appeared? What about dragons in Chinese mythology? These majestic creatures that symbolize strength and cunning are low-slung to the ground, short-limbed, long and slender. The kind of body one would expect from an animal that's just emerged from the water. A form that would remain well-suited for life in a dense forest. The marine dragons tempted out of the water and back onto land find that life on Earth has re-established itself.